Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to be doing some Recon reviewing. We're going to be reviewing episode 1 of the Celestial Toymaker, the Celestial Toyroom. And of course, this is one of the missing episodes, but the audio track survives, as it does for all the missing stories. And Loose Cannon has done a fantastic reconstruction that enables you to get a nice feel for what the episode was like. And I enjoyed it. I have read the novelization of the Celestial Toymaker before, but it was in the 90s, so it's a bit vague in my head. I remember bits of it, especially the ending, so I know what happens, but it's kind of like, you know, the outline of it's more in my head than the details. And I'd never seen any of the actual stories or heard any of the stories, etc., etc. So it was nice to do that. I absolutely have grown to really enjoy the Hartnell era for the most part, and I love me some Michael Goff. I'm all about some Michael Goff, so I'm happy to see him in this as the Celestial Toymaker. I like that Loose Cannon does a really good job of their reconstructions. They do a lot of like visual edits so they can add more scenes in, you know, manipulating photos and Photoshop and stuff. Like the clowns growing, and Steven being blindfolded, and that's obviously not a picture of Steven blindfolded. That they do their little custom photos to make it work, and then the narration that runs by on the screen when you need it to fill you in on what's going on. It's a really good reconstruction that makes the story very easy to follow with what's going on in the audio, as there are parts of the story well, there's not a lot of audio because stuff is happening on screen. I really like the minimalist approach that this kind of takes, very similar to the Mine Robber, actually. And I really enjoy the Mine Robber because, like in the Mine Robber, they're kind of in like this area or dimension that's not quite normal reality. It's this very surreal place. It has a very fantasy feel to it, like you're in a dream almost, where you can tell everything is not the way it normally is. I love this approach in classic Who, especially in the 60s, because I think it's more effective in black and white, because it really works to Doctor Who's limited budget. I've said that about the Mine Robber. I like that minimalist approach because it works to Doctor Who's budget and it pulls it off. Same thing here with part 1 in the Celestial Toymaker. This minimalist approach works for this, and it stays in the confines of the show's budget. You know, a lot of times when the background is just pure black, like there's nothing there. I like that. Again, it has this very fantasy feel to it like Mine Robber did, and I enjoyed that. I like the interactions between the First Doctor and the Celestial Toymaker. How the Toymaker almost talks to him like they're old friends. Obviously, the Doctor has been there before, but managed to get out before the Toymaker could ensnare him. And whereas the First Doctor is not trusting him an inch, like, yeah, I know what you're all about. Don't try that nice, I'm your buddy with me. The Toymaker's kind of like, do you ever have that one friend? And he's like a good friend. But anytime you're doing anything competitive, he likes to have that kind of ace up his sleeve, that kind of advantage. Say you're playing a game that he's played more than you, and he tells you how to play the game, but he doesn't tell you necessarily everything. Like, say you're playing on a board, and there's this great spot that's good for hiding or sniping or whatever, and he tells you how to play the game, but he doesn't tell you about that spot, especially if you're on a different team. He likes to, even though he wants it to be a good game, and for both of you to have fun, he wants to have that slight edge over you. You know, let's go play Double Decker on Mario Kart, but I'm not going to tell you I can just shoot those red cells down at you right from the top. You know, he still wants to win. He wants to have that little ace up his sleeve that he doesn't tell you about. That's kind of the Toymaker here, in a way. He acts like he wants a nice friendly game, but he's not going to tell you everything. He wants to win. He wants you to be somewhat competitive. He wants you to be intelligent so you can keep up with him, but not completely keep up with him. That way he feels even better when he beats you. It's like, he was so smart, and I still managed to beat him, so I must be even smarter. That's the Celestial Toymaker in a nutshell. At least to me. And then watching that going on with, of course, while Steven and Dodo are having to play the game with the clowns. I like the actors playing the clowns. I think they do a good job. I like that little high-pitched voice the female clown has, and how the male clown kind of communicates with that horn, kind of like Harpo Marx. I love me some Harpo Marx. And then, of course, finding out the clowns cheated and making them do it again. And I like the little obstacle course that they have to go through, because, again, it has that minimalist, surreal, fantasy look to the set there. I really like that. So I enjoyed part one. Even just being a recon, I liked it, because it is a really good recon. Loose Cannon does really good recons, and I found it very, very enjoyable. I was able to watch it. One of my subscribers helped me out with that. I've been able to view it, and I'll be watching the rest of the story. Another thing I'm excited about is episode 4 exists, and you guys, I've talked before on the channel about how much I love when a final episode exists. That's a big deal for me. It really gets me pumped up for a story when I can watch that final episode and it survives. So I can handle, 3 episodes of Recon if I got the final episode to go to at the end. My biggest problem with the 10th Planet is I get live action animation. And the animation, while being good, has some wonky camera angles in 10th Planet. One of the reasons I'm excited about seeing the wheel in space eventually, the final episode exists. I love that. So I'm really pumped for the fact that when I get to episode 4, I can actually watch episode 4. So, the Celestial Toy Room. What do you think of it? And what do you think of Loose Cannon's reconstruction of it? Comment down below and let me know. Other things to do, click that like button and that subscribe button. That thumbs up helps me out. And I am, of course, attempting to grow the channel to 1,000 subscribers. That is my goal for 2023, is to hit 1,000 at some point this year. Preferably sooner, of course. I also have a P.O. box. If there's anything you would like to send me, there's a... that's down in the description below, as is a link to my Amazon wish list. I also have a Patreon. That helps me keep the bills paid. If you would like to support me on that, there's a link to that down in the description below. I want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons, Dr. Finn Perkins and Stephen Crane and Colin Coney. I appreciate their continued support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. I also want to thank Thomas Simpson, who joined recently. I always enjoy when I see the Patreon account go up and someone else new join. That means a lot to me. He had mentioned in a message he sent me he'd been watching the channel for a while and wanted to support me on there, and that means a lot, and I really appreciate it. Most importantly, though, thank you for watching.